Barcelona's summer is turning into pure chaos. From last-minute transfer rumors involving Dusan Vlahovic and Ibrahima Konate, to the Marcus Rashford registration race, injury blows for Lewandowski and Ter Stegen, and even a ticking clock on the Camp Nou reopening, there's no shortage of drama at the Catalan club. Today we're breaking down all the latest transfers, squad news, stadium updates, and the stories the media isn't telling you. With around 2 weeks left before the summer transfer window slams shut, there does not appear to be any scope for some late activity at FC Barcelona. The Blaugrana have roped in Joan Garcia, Rooney Bargi and Marcus Rashford, loan, and renewed Wojciech Szczesny's contract, but are yet to register any of them in La Liga. Given the situation, the likelihood of another new signing appears extremely distant. Despite that, reports in Italy have linked the La Liga champions to a surprise name. Dusan Vlahovic on Barcelona's radars? Indeed, according to Gazzetta dello Sport, hat tip Mundo Deportivo, FC Barcelona are one of the clubs interested in a late swoop for Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic. The 25-year-old Serbian international is entering his final year of contract at Juventus, and the Italian team would be interested in transferring him so that he does not leave for free next summer. Vlahovic's high salary is also an issue, as the Serbian is one of the highest-paid players at the Vecchia Signora. The former Fiorentina player, however, wants to fulfill his final season of contract. However, as per the report, Barcelona and Newcastle would be two of the clubs that could unlock this situation in the last days of the transfer window. Juventus hope that some more clubs may become interested in the coming weeks. The possibility that Vlahovic could end up at Barcelona in the coming weeks seems remote. Everything seems to indicate that, barring a surprise move, the Catalan team have closed the door to further signings. With the issues of fair play, and knowing the high salary of the Serbian, the fit of the forward seems difficult. Asterisk player valuation and title obtained from transfermarket.com on date of publication. Barcelona summer signing Marcus Rashford has this week provided an insight into his early impressions of his new teammates in Catalonia's capital. This comes by way of a quick-fire round of comments on some of the leading members of Hansi Flick's squad. Frontman Rashford of course put pen to paper on a year-long loan deal at the Camp Nou last month. The 27-year-old has spent the time since working towards integrating himself into Hansi Flick's squad, a major step up for a player whose career had previously appeared to be getting away from him. Speaking during an appearance on the Rest is Football podcast this week, Rashford was therefore drawn on his initial impression of his new teammates. Specifically, the Englishman was asked to describe the likes of Robert Lewandowski, Pedri and Lamine Yamal in one word. And Rashford's full list of answers are showcased below. La Liga champions Barcelona have this week announced some altogether timely positive news on the personnel front. This comes amid confirmation that La Liga have ruled that the injury being dealt with by Blaugrana star Marc-Andre Ter Stegen meets the criteria for a long-term absence. Goalkeeper Ter Stegen was ruled out for the foreseeable future earlier this month, after being forced under the knife to solve a niggling back complaint. Barcelona, in turn, sent a medical report to La Liga, in an effort to open up space on the club's wage bill. And as alluded to above, just days out from the club's season opener against RCD Mallorca, Barça have received the response which they were seeking. As per a statement across the website and social media platforms of the Catalans, FC Barcelona hereby announces that La Liga's medical committee has ruled that goalkeeper Marc-Andre Ter Stegen's injury meets the long-term injury criteria established by current regulations. The club will proceed to immediately formalize the registration of player Joan Garcia. 3 members of the first-team ranks at La Liga giants Barcelona sat out group training on Thursday. That's according to Mundo Deportivo, who have provided an insight into the latest developments behind the scenes at the Ciutat Esportiva. Barcelona, of course, are currently in the thick of preparations for a return to action this coming weekend. Kicking the defense of their La Liga title into gear, the Blaugrana will make the trip to Son Moix for a meeting with RCD Mallorca on Saturday. This morning, Hansi Flick's star-studded squad therefore reconvened at the club's training ground. As alluded to above though, whilst the majority of Barca's squad managed to see out the session as normal, 3 players were put through individualized work. As per MD, the trio in question come in the form of Robert Lewandowski, Jules Koundé and Marc Casado. Frontman Lewandowski's absence from group activities came with the Pole suffering with a muscular injury, which has seen him already ruled out for Saturday. Defender Koundé and midfielder Casado, on the other hand, also didn't train with the rest of the squad, but in their case it's to manage the loads so their presence, versus Mallorca, isn't in danger. Barcelona missed out on signing former Liverpool winger Luis Diaz, who chose to join Bayern Munich this summer. Now, the La Liga champions have turned their attention to another Liverpool player whose future is up in the air, centre-back Ibrahima Konate. The French defender is in the final year of his contract at Anfield, and with no agreement on an extension yet, Barcelona have reportedly opened talks to explore the possibility of bringing him to Camp Nou, according to Sempre Barça. Barcelona want a new central defender. The centre-back is open to the idea of joining the Spanish giants. It is a position that Barça are looking to strengthen after the departure of Íñigo Martínez to Al Nassr this summer. Despite being involved in talks with Barça, the defender is currently determined to stay at Liverpool as he wants to see whether the Premier League champions will offer him a new contract and how important he will be to their project under Arne Slot. The Merseyside club begin their Premier League title defense tomorrow, and Konate is set to remain a crucial part of their starting lineup. A member of the defensive ranks has been penciled in for a departure from the club at some point next week. That's according to Diario Sport, who point towards Hector Fort as the player in question. Youngster Fort, for his part, all of a sudden finds himself without a place in the plans of Hansi Flick for the season ahead. Owing to the respective emergences of Eric Garcia and Gerard Martin as viable fullback options in Barcelona's 11, the 19-year-old is out of favor on both flanks. The plan of Deco & Co., in turn, is to farm Fort out on loan for the 2025-26 campaign, to secure for the defender an uptick in playing time. And as alluded to above, on Thursday, a fresh insight into the plans of Barcelona to sanction such an exit has been provided. As per a report from Sport, Fort will still be a Blaugrana player for the club's La Liga opener against RCD Mallorca this weekend. A fresh insight into the ongoing efforts of the brass at La Liga champions Barcelona to register summer signing Marcus Rashford in time for the opening fixture of the new campaign has on Thursday been provided. Last night, it was officially confirmed that La Liga has classified Marc-Andre ter Stegen's injury as long-term, allowing the club to use part of his freed-up wages to register new signings. The immediate priority is to get Joan Garcia ready for Saturday's clash against Mallorca. However, Marcus Rashford's situation remains unresolved. According to Mundo Deportivo, the English forward is still unregistered, though Barcelona are pushing to have him cleared in time for the La Liga opener. Once Garcia's registration is completed, Rashford will be next on the list. Barcelona are facing a race against time to get the Camp Nou back in running by September. After starting the game with 3 back-to-back away matches, Barcelona are eyeing a return to the grand old Camp Nou. September 14th has been eyed as the return date for Barcelona, when the club are expected to take on Valencia. However, the club still does not have the necessary permits to open the stadium. Barcelona facing an August 28th deadline. In La Liga, Barcelona are looking to engineer a potential Miami matchup against Valencia, even though it has received a lot of flack from Spanish football personalities. But as far as the Champions League is concerned, Marca reports that by August 28th, which is also the date of the Champions League group stage draw, Barcelona must confirm their home venue for the competition. UEFA regulations demand that all first-round home matches be played in the same stadium, meaning the club must have clarity by then or be forced to find an alternative venue. Barça have consistently rejected the idea of splitting home matches across 2 stadiums, which would come in the form of league matches being played at Montjuic and knockout matches at Camp Nou. The Camp Nou's reopening will not happen at full capacity. The club will proceed in 3 phases, starting with 30,000 seats, then increasing to 45,000 for Champions League fixtures, and finally reaching 60,000. Initially, a full 60,000 capacity debut had been planned, but construction timelines have made that unfeasible. Barcelona, therefore, are facing a key couple of weeks as they look to work around the clock to get Camp Nou match ready. So, with just days before Barcelona's La Liga opener and the transfer window closing fast, everything hangs in the balance. Signings waiting to be registered, key players battling injuries, and the Camp Nou still racing against time to welcome fans back. One thing's for sure, the next 2 weeks will define Barcelona's season. Do you think Laporta and Deco can pull it all off? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a Barça update.